Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of Love Above All with Brandis. This is episode number 13 entitled Eating to Love Yourself. And just remember, with every single video, my mission is always to help you love yourself, know yourself, and share yourself with others for God's purpose. So anything that I do is going to directly relate to that. So I've been thinking about wanting to do a 3-part series, and I've chosen to do so. So in about 2 weeks, the next one is going to be Thinking to Love Yourself, and then the third one after that will be Moving to Love Yourself. So this is kind of going to all go into conjunction with one another. In addition, after my message, stay tuned because I'm going to go ahead and include a recipe. You're going to be able to see how I do a protein shake that I really like. So stay tuned for that so you can kind of see it in action, but I'm going to also go ahead and put the recipe below so you can go ahead and use that. This is from the Message version in scripture, and I have to remember where I found it. I think it is 1 Corinthians 16 or 1 Corinthians 3:16. So I want to just reiterate this. It says, "You realize, don't you, that you are the temple of God and God himself is present in you. No one will get by with vandalizing God's temple. You can be sure of that. God's temple is sacred and you, remember, are the temple." So that's one thing I want us to remember, that we are God's temple. So our body, our outer shell, is housing the actual spirit that resides within us. And then another quote that I want us to kind of weave through the series is this one, and this is by O. Carl Simonton, and I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. It states, "You can learn to follow the inner self, the inner physician that tells you where to go. Healing is simply attempting to do more of those things that bring joy and fewer of those things that bring pain." So I guess I'd like to just start off by saying my main objective for even doing this video is to let you know that in my opinion, what I feel that I have learned over these last 32 years is to finally understand that health, and eating obviously affects your health, is really about how you are wanting to serve, about the body being physically able to serve while it's here on earth. So I want us to kind of change perspective. I guess I don't want us to think so much about dieting or what am I going to eat that's going to make me, look the skinniest or whatever it may be. But what am I going to eat that's going to give me what I need in order to feel good to be able to serve while I'm here on earth? I definitely can tell you that I was a sugar addict, and the sugar obviously didn't put a lot of weight on my body, but what it did is it wreaked a lot of havoc with my body, with my mental capabilities, with my ability to be clear, and my ability to, move in this world in a way of positivity and health, and to be moving with the purpose that God has provided me with. I would say, looking back at my life, like I would eat so many brownies and so many cookies, and that was always my way to deal with any type of emotional stress that I was going through. I definitely understand that now. And what it would do is it would truly numb me out. I would be checked out of society, and I would deal with my problems, or it would even be a way to relax by just totally munching out and just, baking the brownies or the sugar or getting all of those things, taking a whole big thing of bread and eating all of that in order to really numb myself out and not really have to think about what I was having to do while I'm here on earth or whatever my purpose was. It just caused me to not have to think about that. So with that in mind, when I finally, and if you've seen some of my previous videos, when I was finally able to I was praying to God, just saying, use me, use me, use me. That was definitely something that was put in my path, saying, all right, Brandy, you need to go ahead and look at your diet. How are you eating? What are you going to before me? And I definitely was going to sugar before going to God, who, again, I believe God lives inside of us. So before going inside and journaling and reflecting and figuring out whatever my emotional triggers or pain was, I was going to the sugar first so I wouldn't have to think, and so I could numb out and not have to deal with any of my emotions. So I definitely know and understand that now. So What I want to go ahead and say is that there was definitely a shift that took place, and there were several things that I did differently for myself in order to get me out of the sugar addiction and to get me more tuned into life. So I want to share that with you, but I want to share it with you on the premise of an understanding of that. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that these things are, definitely going to work and definitely going to help. And I want you to understand that obviously my body is different from your body. But one of the biggest things that I learned is the fact that I had to really get in touch again with the God who dwells within me, with my inner spirit, in order to understand what really works for my body and what doesn't. So with a lot of prayer, I was able to be led to different things to try. And then inevitably, I have to really figure out what works for me. And that's what I'm suggesting to you too, is to not just take every single diet. It definitely has to be a lifestyle. And you want your main objective to be that you want to feel good. So I want to just share with you like key things that I learned about eating. And again, they may be of service to you. So basically, when I really understood that I was a sugar addict, I consulted a naturopathic doctor, and I was able to really get to a good place. I was gluten-free and dairy-free. Basically, I was eating, proteins, vegetables, good carbs, which are, sweet potatoes and all of your vegetables and all of your fruits. And basically, I was eating real food. And back in probably around 2010, that was how I was eating for about 6 months, just like that. And I would say within that time, it really cleaned my body out of all the processed foods and everything like that. And I was truly able to know what it felt like to have real food in my body. And I started to get extremely clear-headed. I wasn't as foggy brained anymore. I wasn't as forgetful. I would definitely say that depression subsided as well. Just going, eating in a clean way like that. And it was very, very difficult because I had a sugar addiction. That's all I wanted was sugar, or any type of processed food that would turn into sugar really, really quickly. So it was very, very depressing in the beginning. But I want to tell you, if this is something that you want to try, to just really start to eat the foods that God has grown and that are here on this earth, that even though it's going to be so difficult in the beginning, it's going to be so worth it if you stick with it at first. And what I realized, your body starts kind of letting go of all the processed food with all the chemicals and everything like that. Your body actually starts craving and enjoying the real food that we are designed, I think, to eat anyways. And so, kale and spinach became my best friend, and I would just like saute the kale or the spinach in olive oil, and I would try to just incorporate greens with every single meal. And I just started to notice just such dramatic improvements with my energy, like I said, with my capability of being able to think, with my energy level, everything like that. Now, that was for a good 6 months, okay? Where I am now, and I want to say this as well, we can go obviously way too far to the other end. I definitely in the past, and still struggle with this all the time, just being so black and white and having a hard time fitting in between. So I'm like, okay, if I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, because I don't have celiac, I got tested for that. I don't have it, but I know I am sensitive to gluten. I would say, oh, well, I need to be totally gluten-free all the time, and I need to totally be dairy-free all the time. And that's a really scary place to be too, especially if your body doesn't need that. So that's why I keep saying that you have to listen to your inner physician to understand what your body really needs. So the more I listen to my inner physician, I realize that I need to remain gluten-free, dairy-free probably 80% of the time. And probably the other 20% of the time, I'm able to still indulge in some of my favorite foods that I like. It's just, I'm never ever going to go back to the norm where I'm eating a bunch of pasta and pizza every single day, all day long, or whatever, and just engaging in so much sugar and a half a pan of brownies or whatever it was. I definitely know where I am right now, and I am more balanced. So I'm just letting you know that that's the key, balance. What do you feel your body can handle? What do you feel it cannot handle? Again, I want to leave you with the fact that eating should be about you wanting to feel good so you can serve and do what God has called you to do while you are here on earth. It's fine to indulge, but have some balance. And I guarantee that, you know, when you find your balance and you find the foods that really make you feel good and give you joy and make you feel strong and give you energy, when you indulge in those real, you know, special foods to you or trigger foods or whatever it is, it's going to taste so much better, and it's not going to have that power over you anymore once you truly find the balance it is that you need. The inner physician, the Holy Spirit, your inner self, that is going to be what's going to tell you what is best for you. So I pray and hope that you listen to that, and that you love yourself where you are, no matter what size you are, no matter how good or bad you're feeling. Love yourself where you are and continue to listen to that inner self, and don't be scared to try things. You're not going to die if you go gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, whatever it may be, just to kind of figure out what it is that your body needs. So I'm going to go ahead right now, and I know I talked a lot already, but I'm going to go ahead and attach my protein shake recipe, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, and you can jazz it up and do whatever it is that you want to make it special for you. But this is an awesome shake that you could eat for breakfast. It's an awesome shake that you can eat after you know, just wanting to detox, or you know, you had a weekend out where you're eating tons of pizza and things like that. This is a good detoxing shake as well. So I hope you like it and enjoy it, and you make it for yourself one day. And I will see you in the next episode, which will be, I think I said, thinking to love yourself. So I will see you next. God bless you, subscribe, and take care, and have. Okay, so here we have the final product of the shake here. I just want to tell you again everything I added. So basically I did about a cup of water, and then I added about a handful of blueberries, about a handful of strawberries, and on top of that I added about 2 tablespoons of cashew butter. You can use regular peanut butter, you can use almond butter, whatever it is that you desire. On top of that I did about a handful of spinach, a handful of kale, and then I added some coconut milk. You could use almond milk, you could use regular milk, whatever it is. Oh, I forgot the most important ingredient, which is the protein powder. I use rice protein, and I'll dump that in on top of the water at the bottom. And you can use, again, any protein. You could use whey protein. There's, you know, soy protein. So many different types of protein out there. You can use whatever it is that you wish. And then on top of the leafy greens, like I said, I put in some coconut milk, and then I added some cinnamon, and the final touch is dark chocolate. It's 90% dark chocolate, and I just think that adds a wonderful flavor to it. And you can use whatever type of dark chocolate you would like as well, or you could use some type of cacao powder or whatever it is you wish. So I am going to go ahead and blend this up. Okay, so we are done blending, and we're going to go ahead and pour this. Again, you want it to blend for a while, so you can go ahead and make sure that all the greens are blended. That's going to be the most beneficial. And my daughter loves these shakes so much too, she's going to have some. So again, I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. And again, it is doable. You might want to add a little bit more chocolate, but you really cannot taste the greens. So I highly recommend this shake for any time that you're just feeling that, you know, whatever, you overdid it in some place. It's such a great energizer. It's wonderful for the morning. It's wonderful for a midday snack, and it really will help recalibrate you if, you know, you're used to eating a certain way that agrees with your body, and you kind of go off the bandwagon and you kind of want to get yourself back together. It just gives you so many wonderful nutrients, and I feel so energized and wonderful after I have the shake. So you can tweak it in any way that you want, but hopefully this recipe will help you, and you will start adding
you know, the greens into your diet. That will be, you know, the most beneficial and wonderful thing for you to do. So I hope you enjoyed seeing our shake. Let me know if you like it. Okay, bye-bye.